speak on role of ventricular assist devices in congestive heart failure. Basically, the Intermax score, this NYHA4 has been further divided into 7 Intermax, which Dr. Bala has already mentioned, to go deep dive into the situation that what the heart failure is and how it works, how the therapy works in which stage. So it's gonna be like if, but in NYHA 1 to 4, if you go towards 4, the severity increases. In Intermax, the 1 is the most serious and 7 is the least serious. And all the therapies mentioned in heart failure, they are mostly they based on a Intermax level, Intermax, which Intermax level patient presents to us. So before 2013, the treatment of heart failure used to be whip the horse with Lanoxin, or unload the horse with Lasix, or slow with the ivabradine or other beta blockers. But now the treatment is either get a new horse, means do a heart transplant, or get a tractor, means put a ventricular assist device, or heal the horse with mitra clip or other measures, bypass surgery or mitra, whatever the problem is, you can address that just to heal the heart so that it should be working. So because heart failure is a progressive disease from ARNIs to ICD to CRT to VADS, and finally the VADS and transplant are the main treatment. So most of the people, they have already mentioned, what we do a bit different to avoid the frequent flyers to come again and again to the hospital for acute heart failure. What we do is we give a home milrinone or home dobutamine therapy to reduce their number of hospital admissions, as well as to improve a bit quality of life. It will always remain suboptimal for for the advanced heart failure, but still better than kept admitting in hospital again and again. And it's been working. And the another advantage of home dobutamine and home milrinone therapies, if the patient wants to go for heart transplant and PVR is high, we have done it in 4 or 5 patients. We gave a home dobutamine or home milrinone therapy. In 4 or 5 months, the PVR has come down, and we did a heart transplant on these patients. So CRT, they have already spoken on this. So the most important slide for this mechanical circulatory support is IABP, which everybody is aware of. It supports only 15 to 20% of the cardiac output. Tandem Heart and Impella, they support 30 to 60%. The devices which I'm going to tell is they support 100%. HeartMate 2-3 or HeartWare, or CentriMag as an extracorporeal device, or ECMO you need when the lung support is also required, but you can do only for heart also. This Tandem Heart we used to use, but now it's been less frequently used because Impella in India, wherever it's required, probably the most cardiologists prefer Impella. And the another device, the extracorporeal device, which we use for cardiogenic shock, or Intermax 2-3. So that is basically CentriMag, and it gives 5 to 7 liters of flow within few hours. Within half an hour you can put it, and it's much cheaper than the permanent devices like HeartMate 2 or HeartMate 3. Or the another this ECMO, you can use it as a respiratory failure, you can use enough for the cardiac failure, or for the both. This is a pump and the oxygenator, and these CentriMag and ECMO, they work for 28 days till you use it as either as a bridge to recovery, like the patient comes to you in viral myocarditis or other disease which is treatable. You put the ECMO or CentriMag and make the patient better and send the patient home. Another is bridge to decision, when the patient comes in emergency, blood pressure is 60, lactate 16. You don't know this patient is going to survive or not. Put the device. If the patient makes it after that, then you can bridge to another device, permanent device, or you can bridge to a heart transplant. When the patient is comfortable, like in this Intermax 4-5, the ventricle is burned out 7 centimeter, 8 centimeter. This ventricle is never going to get better. You need to do something, otherwise 1 year mortality is close to 70 to 80%. So the main therapies for such kind of heart is either heart transplantation or ventricular assist device. So these are few devices, this Jarvik, HeartMate 2-3, HVAD, Heart Assist, and Ava Heart. So now the no pulse is not a problem nowadays, because this centrifugal, this continuous flow pump, they have shown a very good survival. So from XVE to HeartMate 2, it has shown a very good result, and then HeartMate 3 is now is being compared, is equal to, or maybe at some point it will be better than transplant. We don't know yet, but the way the devices are improving and quality of life and the survival is improving, so could be equal to the heart transplant. So this is a HeartMate 2, how it is placed. The inflow cannula is into the ventricular apex and pump outflow graft and the drive line, and the percutaneous drive line which comes out of the body. The another two devices, they are hard. This can be used as bridge to transplant, but nowadays most of the countries they are used as destination therapy, because they also work for they expected to work for 12 to 13 years, the same the transplant works. And these complications have also, they are also reduced. This less thrombosis, less bleeding issues or other infection related issues, because for the last 10 years they are in the market and a lot of doctors are using them, and they are understanding this, and they are understanding the physiology and other related issues. So uh, the more they are knowing more about the devices, so now the results are getting much better. And Jarvik is another device. So most of the, if you see the global footprint, it's everywhere across the globe. And how the device works, when the ejection fraction is 15-20%, you have high CVP, high PCWP, and the heart is enlarged. So when you put the device in, the heart gets relaxed. Its function is taken by the VAD. So your back pressures, PCWP and CVP comes down, your forward flow increases. So ischemic liver, ischemic kidney, they start getting more blood, and patient becomes clinically normal. So that is how these devices they work. I'm going to show one video of that how the HeartMate 3 works. That's the most advanced, fully magnetically levitated pump, and it has shown very promising results in terms of uh, least complication with best survival so far. The available devices. This is a centrifugal pump kept in. You don't have to make a pocket for this. It is kept in the pericardial cavity, and less blood damage. You don't see much any increase in the LDH or other parameters which show that blood damage is there. Very biocompatible and least stroke rates. And the another device is hardware, which you put a ring on the LV apex and then cut the ventricular apex and then put the pump in and fix the pump with a screw, and then put an outflow graft on the aorta like we do the proximal graft in the bypass surgery. As soon as you put that device, most of the patients, the cardiac output, which was 2 liter or 2.5, now it is close to 5 or 5.6. And your mean BP is, usually we see that because they are non-pulsatile devices, so mean BP we usually keep is between 70 to 90. Heart rate comes down. Your PA pressure, which was 67, has come down to 27. CVP, which was 20 in 20s, high 20s or low 20s, comes down to 10. So most of the things, this is at day 2 of one of the patients. So most of the things they get, but this is how the drive line which comes out of the body with the holster, we fix it to avoid any movement at the exit side too. So the infection rate, which used to be considered as one of the concern nowadays, we don't see much these device related infections. So we have a separate ICU for this ventricular the LVAD and transplant, which where you can see the left side is being monitored by the device, and the right is in the monitor in the back, continuous cardiac output, and nitric oxide and a lot of things. So because before the surgery the cardiac output is 2 liter, so right ventricle is giving 2 liter and left ventricle is giving 2 liter. Now the left ventricle is giving 4 to 5 liters, the right ventricle has to give 5 liters. So, and right ventricle is your native ventricle and left ventricle is your mechanical ventricle, and they don't talk to each other. So you have to optimize both the ventricles for some time till it get used to it, and most of the time it goes fine. So and these patients, they get better hemodynamic. And if you see that this new standard of survival, the HeartMate 3 and transplant are almost equal survival at 2 years, 82%. So, and there is no long-term late mortality difference shown between transplant and ventricular assist devices with the newer devices. I'm saying for the last 5-6 years I'm talking. And once the patient is extubated, comes out of the bed, and all these, and most of the people believe that after transplant LVAD there is any limitation. People, believe me, they go to any country, they roam around, and they do all the activities whatever is required. So this patient is gone to like Singapore, and then this patient is in Switzerland. So you have to carry the bag. But female patients, they carry the bag in the their purse. So you may not be able to make out that this patient is on ventricular assist device. And yeah, and this patient had he was like now he has it's been more than 5 years on ventricular assist device. He's been doing fine. So we have 4 patients when we started program in 2015 at Max Saket. We have 4 patients, those who have completed 5 years on ventricular assist device. That's the maximum number in country. So, and this patient, she celebrates her birthday every year on the date of surgery, and she has completed 5 years also. And this guy was 69 when we put the device. Now he's 75, 74 and a half something. So he has also completed 5 years. Uh, this guy, he's from Iraq. He, when we did surgery, he came with the ejection fraction of 25%, and we asked him to go for surgery. He had one wife, and now he has 3. So, and he, after 2 years, he sent one more patient. We did in January, on January 22nd this year. He, the only reason he wanted to go for LVAD was he wanted to get married, the another guy. So the quality of life improves a lot. This man is from Kazakhstan, and he is a mechanic over there in one of the motor company. And this lady is 81-year-old. I showed you this because we have done above 80 years also. So his son is standing close by. He's a surgeon in the Germany, and because she want, nobody would like to die. So even if you say them you're going to live for like 8 years, like for the above the age of 80 I'm talking, but otherwise 13 to 15 years. But she's doing fine for the last 2 years. We did 2 years ago Elvado. One girl we did was, she's the youngest kid of Asia Pacific. And if you see, it was after a month of the surgery, she was in her own country. She is carrying the bag in the back where the all the controller and battery is. So I'm talking of extremes of age. You can get the LVAD at the age of 5 also. You can get the at the age of 85 also. It's not limited like transplant. You can usually avoid after the age of 65. This guy which I was talking about, the doctors have also come from that country, so to see the patient who referred him actually. The another guy, he was on ECMO. He had MI, and his ejection fraction went down to 10%. We put a VA ECMO for 22 days. We could not wean ECMO. We tried 3 times, and then we put a HeartMate 3 in him, and he was discharged home from. He's from Jaipur. He's doing fine so far. The another is one of the MLA of Congress, from UP, and the anticoagulation, we need to keep INR close to 2.5 that we usually keep for all mechanical valves. And if the patient has a severe right ventricular dysfunction, mild to moderate, you can put only left ventricular assist device. But if severe right ventricular dysfunction, you can put a biventricular assist device, whether it's a hardware, or you can put a HeartMate 3 too. So I'm saying HeartMate 6 because HeartMate 2, HeartMate 3, somebody wrote the paper. The another device which is available, it's a Syncardia. This is a total artificial heart. You remove both the ventricle. Your ECG is straight line, but still the patient is working. So in LVADs, the pulse is not there. In Syncardia, there is ECG straight line, but still the patient is living life. And these are few slides of total artificial heart. So people ask me what is the advantage of ventricular assist device over heart transplant. After the age of 65, we usually avoid heart transplant. So that's why we say that, because these devices are made of titanium, we say that after the age of 65, treat the titanium deficiency. So up the high pulmonary vascular resistance, when the PVR is more than 6 Woods units, we usually the heart transplant is usually avoided. The another indication to put ventricular assist device is the candidacy, bridge to candidacy, means your PVR is high, you still want to go for transplant, you put the VAD for 18 months to 2 years, the PVR comes down and you can go for transplant. But anyway, that was with an old device, but newer devices are equivalent. So most of the patients, when they are on VAD, they don't want to go for transplant until unless some complication. So high susceptibility to infection and rejection nowadays, corona, you don't want to reduce your immunity. The overweight patient, they like 120 kg, you will not find the similar kind of donor with that. So ventricular assist device is an indication. So, and the devices are readily available. You don't have to be on a waiting list 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You can come and we can do device insertion, implantation in 3 days to 3 to 4 days. So for heart failure, medical therapy, AICD, BIV pacing, VATS, and transplantation. Um, Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. I have actually